change. That's what life is all about, right? You won't believe me if I tell you that our farm currently doesn't have a single cow, a single head of cattle on the farm, whether it's a bull or a calf or an adult cow. Nothing, completely, all of them gone. And it doesn't stop there. Most of the goats and sheep are also gone. We're left with few, probably about 60, maybe 70, nothing more than that, out of over 800 that we did have. Now, I've been away from the farm for quite some time. If you've been following the action, I believe I did make a post about it right on this channel. My mom got ill quite some time back, last week of June. And then I spent quite some time in hospital trying to treat her, being by her side, making sure that she gets well. She's my mother, you understand what she would mean to me by all means. But after a very short stint of being ill, she passed on. She went to be with the Lord. I'm quite comforted and soothed by the fact that I was present for her passing, because the guilt would have killed me too much if I had been absent. And I saw the manner in which she passed on. It was peaceful, and she died with the Lord. For me, the most satisfying thing is that she died knowing the Lord. So I'm confident that she's in the right place. She's not suffering. But it was a very painful and terrible time for me. Now, of course, I've posted a few videos after her passing, but those videos were shot before her passing, when she was still very fine. So this is the first video I'm actually shooting after her passing. So that time while I was away, of course, work had to continue on the farm. While she was ill, while we were doing the entire burial ceremony, action had to continue on the farm. And we had made a decision, guys, to sell all the cattle on the farm and to get rid of all the goats and sheep on the farm. And I know it sounds really crazy, but hey, I'll tell you why. Oh, and before we go into the details of why I got rid of all the cattle, the goats and sheep on the farm, I'll let you know that I started another YouTube channel, also called Farm Up, but with an I. Farm as of farm, strong and firm. And on that YouTube channel, I share my story with my dogs. I have always wanted to keep dogs. It's always been something that I'm interested in. And so when I decided to finally get the dogs at my home, I decided, hey, why not share my story? I'm not a dog expert, not by any means, but I believe I will very soon. So I just wanted to document my journey. And if I'm documenting it, why not share with you guys, the Farm Up family and maybe other dog lovers outside there. So come on, just head over there. I'll leave a link to that channel right here. It's also called Farm Up. Watch the videos that are there. Make sure you subscribe. Come on, make sure you subscribe. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. So back to the four-legged animals on the farm. If you take a look around, I'm standing in what would have been the kraal, where the animals would have been. And the thing I'm seated on is, you can see the white in the background. Now this is salt, cow salt that they were feeding on. Currently, there is nothing inside here. The place is clean. As you might see, it's not leveled perfectly, but the kraal is empty. There is nothing. I don't know if I can turn it around. It's quite bright. But there is nothing. There's no cattle. There's no one herding any cattle anywhere on the farm. We're not milking. And the reason we decided to get rid of the cattle is, number one, the breeds were not the very best, honestly. So by the time the farm was acquired, the cattle had been here. Most of them had been here. And they had been here for quite some time, and the biggest problem is that there was some form of inbreeding. And so when we came and we tried to make sure that the animals get back to proper production, proper management, it's quite difficult if you have poor genes. It doesn't matter the effort that you put in. If the genes are not good, usually the results are not good. It's very easy to see whether it's crops, whether it's chickens, whether it's rabbits, whether it's cattle. The genes need to be really good. So because the genes had been diluted, the milk production wasn't the very best. We could certainly get more, but what we were getting was not the very best, even with the best care that we would offer them. So we decided that it's certainly not worth it, for all the effort and the medicine that you put in and having to pay people to take care of the cattle. It just didn't make sense that you keep all those cattle. So we decided to get rid of them. We sold all of them, most of them to bulk, people that we know. They decided to take them. Some of them are willing to have them for milk production, but a lot of them just took them, to go and slaughter them for meat. and slaughter them for meat is the next point. The idea is that now we want to get in breeds that shall be used for meat. And we are in the process of looking for really, really good breeds. Now, we know this is not going to take a short time, because getting really good breeds for meat is not easy. You know, you'll get the Boran breed, but it's quite common here in Uganda, but it's diluted. It's not like pure and, you know, the original one that will give you lots of kilograms of meat. No. So we are still trying to scavenge around. We might have to import a lot of them, and then when they come in, they certainly won't be as many as we want them to. So it will have to replicate and increase the number over time. That's going to be the goal, you know, probably getting a few females, maybe 10, and use them to take the number up with a very good male, maybe 2 males, and take the number as high as possible. That's going to be our goal for us, you know, to make sure that we get the best breeds of cattle. The second thing is that we were not 100% certain we wanted to keep the cattle right on this farm. You guys know that we have a big poultry project, very, very, very big poultry project. And because of that, it makes it very complicated for us. My next video on this YouTube channel is actually going to shed more light on that, you know, what I mean by big poultry project. But because of that, it complicates it in terms of management, number one. Number two, in terms of biosecurity. We wanted to concentrate this entire farm, you know, 400 acres on poultry. Make sure everything is distributed. Make sure we don't have someone, you know, moving around with gumboots and stepping in cattle poop, then having to go and enter a chicken house. Just to reduce the risk, you know, and to increase the focus and attention. It just didn't make sense. So for now, even as we are getting better breeds, most likely we're going to be placing them on another farm in another location where we can raise them easily and easier and have all the space and not have any worries of messing with the poultry project, because at least according to me and according to us and from what I see, the poultry project really is the most lucrative. You know, it's the best. And if I were to advise you, that's what I would advise you to do. But there are people who have passions and interests in other things. But since it's the best project and it's the creme de creme, of course, in the end, it's something that we have to focus on, and it's certainly not worth it us having to gamble in the same area for that. So most probably when we get back into the cattle, which is not so far away honestly, the highest chances are that we're not going to be put them right on this farm. It's possible that we could, but the chances are very low. Now we'll quickly move into the goat area and I'll show you guys what's happening over there. It might be a little loud because not too far away we have our feed mill over here, and you can hear the guys are making feed for the poultry. Now the goat area still has some action. As you might see, we still have some manure and someone has been taking care of the goats. But like I said, there are not too many. Well, they're probably more than 60, maybe 100 or so, but they're not too many. You can see them relaxing. These are the goats and sheep that we do have. Now, if you remember what this place looked like earlier on, this is nothing. Look at them. You know, the entire place was full of goats and sheep. We had lots and lots of goats and sheep everywhere. But right now we are left with just a few, you know, just a few females and males. And we do believe these we're also going to get rid of. As you might know, we do have a very huge goat house that we are building somewhere. And generally, goats and sheep are not as heavy at foraging like the cattle are. So because of that, the likelihood of having goats and sheep back on this exact farm are way higher, because they don't need as much space and they can be easily restricted on the section of the farm that I told you guys we are building the huge house. I know we paused the building, and so we are also planning on getting in really, really good breeds of the goats and sheep. Really good breeds, you know, the ones that grow quick, they put on lots of weight, they have very high quality meat. The same problem that we had with the cattle is the same exact problem that we're having with the goats and sheep. And that's because there had been lines of inbreeding in the animals, and despite the fact that we had tried to get some really good he-goat breeds, it doesn't do too much if the female lines are, you know, not really good. You also want to work with a good female line. So we're also going to get rid of them, and then we shall get in some really, really nice breeds, and those we shall use to multiply. You know, that's the plan, at least for now. The thing with farming is that things change so quickly. Things change so quickly. I've come to understand that in life, you know. I'd never lost someone really, really close to me. It's unfortunate that the first one I lost was my mom. Well, it's more fortunate that, you know, my mother didn't lose me, because I think it would be way more torture taking her through the fact of losing a son, you know. It's painful, but it's better that I lost her than her losing me. That would be too much pain for her. You know, it's a lot of pain for me, but it's certainly bearable. But it's okay. But now that I've seen how quickly she went, and she had been well not so long ago, you know, she was very fine and healthy. I know how quickly things change. Well, not in terms of like losing life, but life changes quickly. One day we don't have any sheep and cattle here. In a very short time, the farm is full of those. Things change, and you have to accept change and adapt. Yeah, so guys, that's it. It's a quick update on what's happening on the farm. I know it's quite surprising and unexpected, but that's the life of a farmer. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, go and subscribe, watch the other farm up channel, you know, with the dogs, and show me some love over there. Lots of love. Bye.